Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are trying out new makeup products and no long intro here. Let's jump right to it. So today I have several new products to share with you. A lot of them are very, very affordable, but I don't want to call this a drugstore or affordable only makeup tutorial because I do have a couple of products that are more high end. Some of these are new, some of them are just new to me. So yeah, I just felt like putting on some makeup, talking to you guys, and kind of giving a first impression of a bunch of products. I do need a little bit of my pineapple hint. I love this. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in a little bit more. Hi, nice and personal. Sorry you can see all of that. The first thing I'm going to try out is the Pixi Skin Treats. Ooh, I didn't know it said that. This is the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. It has hyaluronic acid and black oat in it. I have heard a lot of good things, and I heard Tarte talk about it, and lately she's been like the person I want to watch a lot, and I have been seeing it in Target. I really want to try a lot of Pixi products. I feel like I have not had the opportunity to try that many, and I know that there's some really good ones. I just wanted to kind of prep my skin with some added hydration because I've been a little bit dry, and having spent some time in the sun too, my skin got really dry. So let's go in. It's a super fine mist. I guess with hearing the word milky, I was expecting a little something more substantial, but I like it. And it still feels very refreshing. Sometimes the milky ones just feel nourishing, but you don't get that like refreshing feeling from it. I feel really nice after this. Get dried off here. So I was sitting here kind of panicking, thinking, do I have a new primer? And one of the CoverGirl primers, the Illuminating, I only used once, I think, in my like initial use of it, and I only did it in certain areas. So I thought I would go in with this all over my face today and get a little bit better kind of judgment on how it works. So I'm gonna go all in. I put about a pea size, maybe like a dime size, because I go overboard with primer. Ooh. I am going to go in with a Baby Benefit Porefessional. I don't use this primer a lot, especially all over my face, but occasionally I will put it just in my oily or pore prone areas. So I'm taking just a smidge, and I'm going to go in around my T-zone, mainly focusing on my nose. So a lot of times with illuminating primers, I find that I just don't get any pore filling. Not meant to, so they're doing what they're supposed to do, but I do like to just press this in to my pores. So the next thing is probably the most intriguing thing I am trying out today. This is the Stands Out Beauty Company Makeup Blending Sponge. Now this thing is gigantic, and you may have seen videos about it, but girl, I had to try it out, and they did reach out to me and asked me if I wanted to try it. I said absolutely. I was already seeing a lot of videos and kind of like wanting to buy it, but hey, they were willing to send it to me, and I'm more than willing to try it out. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It says, the warmth of your skin is all that's needed for a Stands Out Beauty Sponge to reach its optimal softness for use. What does that mean? What does that mean? It says it's recommended to use the sponge damp the first 3 to 5 uses while it's in its break-in period. After that, water is optional. It can be used as a finishing tool to lightly patting and rolling over the face, leaving a seamless blended look. Here it's got like a little diagram showing you the different parts of the sponge. I did cut it open, but I am so interested in what this feels like. I have no idea. So this is what we're looking at. Wow, it is really like memory foam. Like, watch this. It's like a squishy. Wow. Look at that. That is so cool. So this side will be for my foundation. They're telling this side, so this area is for like concealer. That's a nice shape, and it is slanted a bit, almost giving it like a diamond shape so that it's a little bit easier. I feel like that is nice. That way this side is not also pressing right into the cheek. Maybe that's the reason there. And then they're saying like this maybe for contour. So I'm gonna go wet this bad boy and we're gonna try it out. All right guys, it is wet, and it's almost feeling like it's got like a little, I don't know, I don't want to say film because that sounds gross, but like a little something on the outside so you can't feel a lot of the texture. That might be really good though. So I can't wait to try this out. So basically, as I wet it, I did wring out a lot of the water because I figure if it doesn't have to be wet later, you probably don't need it like soaking wet. So it just doesn't have as much like memory to it. It bounces back really quickly. So let's just jump right in. Let me stop talking. So I do have today the Colourpop No Filter Foundation. I ordered this initially when it was new and my shade was too light, so I'm hoping that this one will be better. Either way, we're gonna make it work today. And I've got this shade Light 55. Looks like it's gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna start with just a little bit and see how it looks. Wow. What the heck? You know, you see something that's a little different and you just don't quite know how to take it, if it looks like a gimmick or if it's something real. I've got to like pull my mirror closer because I'm almost in disbelief at how good this is looking. I used hardly any, by the way, so I'm picking up a little bit more. And you can see it's soaking it up just a little bit there, but it doesn't look like, and I'm holding it up to the light, like it's going deep within the sponge. I feel like it's just right on the surface. That's spreading out really nicely. This hair had to go up. It was driving me crazy because it's so hot. And the colors are pretty good. It may actually be a little bit darker, but I think I'll be able to mix the two, and yeah, I'm not worried about it. The one I have is super light, but mixing that and this when it's winter time, that's probably gonna be perfect. I really don't have a new concealer, so I'm just gonna go with trusty little Shapetape because I know the formula and it'll help me better kind of determine my feelings about this sponge. I kind of know how it normally blends out. So I'm going to turn it around and use this side to dab into my concealer, blending it pretty nicely into my foundation. A lot of times I will go back with the foundation side and just kind of blur. I do that anyway, even with like a beauty blender, so that's nothing new. And I'm just focusing on the under eye. Pretty good. I really have no complaints. I don't think you can complain about that. Looks pretty good. I'm really impressed. Okay, so another item that I'm gonna try that is not new, but it's new to me, is the Naked Skin Shapeshifter. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this, which makes me a little bit more curious to try it. It has a mirror in the middle, so I'm trying not to blind you, but also show you what's going on. So you've got creams and then you got powders. So that's what it's looking like right here. So I am actually going to go into the cream side and do a little bit of cream contouring, especially since this sponge specifically says that it's good for cream contour. For my cheekbones, I'm going to use the Morphe E8. It's this little dense brush. I'm going to go in and pick up some of this contour shade right here. It does look a little dark, but we're going to try it on for size. So not too bad once I put it on. I think I'll go ahead and just throw some on my forehead with this brush too. Since we're going to try the sponge to blend it out, I'm just going to dot some. I'm going to go light-handed, but I do go kind of far down the forehead. So I'm just going to start where I began. Oh! Is that me or does that look really good already? I know it's kind of strong right now, but hello. Okay, the most important part, the forehead, because I put so much on. Curious to see how it does. Even with all that contour, like I really packed it on in this area and I was afraid it wasn't going to be able to handle it. I do think the formula of the cream contour is very good. I really like it. Okay, so my cheekbones are looking really light, so I'm going to go in very lightly before I set my face, and I'm actually going to set my cream contour with the powders on this side. So I'm going to use this shade right here ever so gently because I don't want it to get to looking too dark. That did intensify it just a little bit. It's a little dusty, but it is super pigmented. So I'm kicking off a lot of product and just lightly going over that forehead area. So now I'm going to try out the new Tarte Shapetape setting powder. It's got that nice film on it. Let's see if this one's difficult. Okay, that one's pretty easy. Ooh. Lately I've been using my Becca. This is the Hydra Mist Set and Refresh. And one of the things I've been enjoying about it is that it has this lid on the inside. And then the little sifter is actually like a little net, which has a lot of give to it. So you can actually like put your blender on and just like press down and it will kind of reach just the top of the powder, but you can't get too much really. So I like that this has a similar packaging. So this is what it's looking like, and the top actually has a mirror in it. Ooh, this one's like packed full. The only thing I'll say about the Becca one is that it was like not a lot of product in there given the amount of space that it had. But again, I'm sure size wise it was probably the same, but it's got like this bigger, looser packaging. And yeah, you just like had all this room in here is what I noticed, and I've lightly used it. Okay, so it did say that this was good for setting as well, but I am going to just make sure I haven't creased under the eye, and a lot of times I will crease a little bit before I set. I'm going to use the sponge and pick up a little powder out of this Tarte, so I'm just kind of dipping in. It's time to powder the rest of my face, so I think I'm going to grab a brush just because that's what I like to do. So we're going to take a big fluffy Real Techniques and lightly set the rest of the areas of my face. I'm not really worrying about that where I put that little powder contour, so I'm kind of skipping that area. So far I'm liking the powder. I feel like powder is just one of those things though. You can get a first impression, but really it's more about, for me at least, how it lasts. So first impression is I like it. I'll definitely update you guys in one of my weekly vlogs about the powder and let you know if I'm liking it. Next we're going to try out the L'Oreal Paris Brow Stylist Definer, and I have the shade 389 Brunette. We're going to pop that bad boy out. Look, I hate this packaging. Not because like I think it's bad, but because it's like that weird paper, little plastic feel. So basically this is a very fine tip pencil with a spoolie on the opposite end. I don't know if this color is going to be good. I just kind of picked it out one day in Ulta and I was like, ooh, this could be a dupe for Anastasia Brow Wiz. I don't know. It seems a little bit big to be that, but maybe. It's been a while since I used Brow Wiz though. I've been on my Benefit Brow kick, and then a lot of times I'll use Dip Brow, but usually not Brow Wiz. I feel like that was the pencil I used up so quickly, and even though I really liked it, I had to repurchase all the time. Whereas I don't feel like with a lot of others I go through it so quickly. It's looking pretty good. I'm actually really liking this pencil so far. It's not too warm brown, which I find to be probably my biggest hurdle, is finding one that's good to my tone of my hair. And this one's looking really good because it's kind of like a neutral brown. It's not super cool, but it's not super warm either. So now I'm going to try it out for some little hair strokes in the front. That's been my favorite part of my brows lately, because with the right tool and technique, I can finally look like I have a real brow in that area, whereas I don't really grow it in the way that I would like to frame my face and my eye. So I just gotta kind of make it happen. I'm not worried about making my brows super perfect today, but I can tell you I really like this pencil. It was very easy to use. I love the color, I love the size. It's got a spoolie, which I like, and it's got that thinner spoolie, which I actually prefer. Absolutely no complaints, and I will be using this again. And when it comes to just like a daily brow to throw on, one that I use over and over again, I will definitely reach for this. I'm very much impressed. So Brow Stylist Definer is the ultra fine tip shaping pencil from L'Oreal. Definitely worth checking out. I think it's a very good one. you can tell my eyebrows look great and with very little effort. So let's move on. I want to go ahead and use the Milani Gilded Desires palette. I'm so excited about this one. Milani has been a favorite of mine for a while. First it was their blushes when Nikki Tutorials made Luminoso like a big deal, but I started trying their highlighters, which I love. Their foundation is pretty good. There's a lot of things that I really enjoy, their lip products, so I'm really impressed with them, and this will be my first delve into Milani eyeshadows. So this is what it looks like. It looks very luxe. I love the packaging. I love the entire theme here because we've got a couple reds, but we also have some browns. We have a lot of shimmers, and I believe you can use these as more of a highlight, but they are super packed. Look at that. My gosh. It was a little chunky picking it up, but really pretty. I do want to use my Pixi highlight today, but I'll have to use that really light shade in my inner corner because it's gorgeous. I'm going to quickly use some eyeshadow primer potion. I don't think I have anything new in the way of eye primers. I'm going to go in with my Morphe E21, and I'm going to pick up this matte shade right here, and we're going to go over the upper part of my lid. I want to set that primer down and go under that brow. And then I'm actually going to pick up this shade right here and go over my lower lid, and I'm just going to blend it up too into that other lighter shade. So I'm going to take a Morphe E27, and I am going to grab this light brown right here, and we're going to use that as a bit of transition color, and going above my natural crease there. Blending pretty nicely. Not the best I've ever seen, but nowhere near the worst. It's not extreme pigment, but it's showing up. I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not gonna worry too much about blending it out much more than this at the moment. So I'm next going to take my Morphe E17, one of my most used and loved and beat up brushes, and I'm going to take, I think I want to take this red, it's like a burgundy, and go into the crease, and taking it right below where I initially laid down that transition shade. Definitely more burgundy. It's not showing up super red or anything like that. Could be a little bit more blendable, but I'm not complaining, and my hair tie is falling out. It's just not blending perfectly. It certainly doesn't look bad. I can make this look okay, but I'm just not over the moon about those last couple of shades. I think I'm gonna go ahead and complete this eye. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to blend that maroon kind of burgundy shade all the way through my crease and a little bit into the outer third. And I'm trying to build up the color. So I started with a very little amount, and now I'm building and building and building. And I'm trying to get these circular motions going to really buff and blend that out. It does not really look bad at all in camera. It could be a little bit better blended, and as you can see, I am trying. Taking a fluffier brush. So I'm about had it with that blending. I'm taking a little bit of the black shade, and I'm going right into that outer corner, hoping to see a little bit more pigment. There is virtually no fallout in this palette. I'm not experiencing any at all. I am tapping off my brush, but I'm not having any trouble. That may be a little bit due to the fact that these aren't extremely pigmented. I would prefer a little bit more pigmentation. This black is very buildable. I'm going back in with that kind of burgundy maroon shade, whatever you call it, and blending up again and into that outer third, and then taking my clean brush to blend more. I definitely want to use one of these shimmer shades, so I'm going to try this one first with my finger. And they do have shades on here, so I'm sorry. The black I was using is Black Tie Affair. The maroon is Time to Unwind. Really cute. I'm going to use Most Covet Rose right now, and I used both Naked Truth and Sweet as Honey to set like the base and all. So I'm going to try this on my finger and see how it looks. Whoa, that's really gorgeous. It's got like a nice little fleck of glitter in it that's very fine inside that shimmer. I'm going to use some Smashbox primer water. Just dipping into that with a flat synthetic. This is MAC 248. So it is amping up the overall shine of that shimmer shade. I'm gonna go ahead with my Wayne Goss. This is the number 5. It's a little tiny brush that I love to use in my lower lash line. And I'm gonna take that time to unwind and go smoke out my lower lash line. I'm gonna finish the other eye and be right back. Alright guys, the eyes are on and finished. I went ahead and put on mascara, and I'm trying today the Lily lashes. This is the style Big Day, and they are really, really gorgeous. They are full but nice and wispy. We're going to go into some blush and highlight. I've already contoured except for my nose, but I will do that as well. So I actually have 2 blushes, and I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use, but after seeing the look, I think I'm going to go with the Morphe. This is the Blush Trio. I have the shades Sexy, Fearless, and Witty, so they're really pretty. I think I'm going to go with this Witty shade. I think that's going to be really gorgeous. I'm going to take this is actually Sephora Pro Airbrush Blush. This is number 54, and I'm going to lightly dip into that. And I like this because I can really control where it goes on the cheek. That one's got a lot of shimmer to it. I'm going to go back over it with this shade Sexy and just kind of tone down the shimmer and add maybe a touch more color. So these are really pretty mixed together. I don't know if you can see the glow that it gives, but if you're someone who likes a glowy blush, then Witty is definitely very pretty. 9 times out of 10, I will pick up my Sephora Collection Micro Smooth Powder and just tone down the blush in the front. I don't mind so much a little bit more color farther back, but if it looks a little too bold in this area, I'm just not for it. So that just kind of gives me more of the look that I like. Now this is the Glossy Gossamer Duo, and mine is Delicate Dew are the 2 shades. So I will swatch both of those. One's a little bit more golden, one's a little bit more cool and icy. That lighter one's like a champagne pink. Really pretty though. My freshly washed MAC 133 is on deck for my highlight, and I'm just gonna dip into both of these shades just a little bit and start lightly. Ooh, ooh, it's got that nice like wet look. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight the bridge of my nose, just very gently. I'm going to keep its bow. That's pretty. Okay, and what I've been loving to do lately is do my nose highlight and then go in with my nose contour afterwards. So I'm going to take, where's the brush? I've been using a Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush. This is what I've been liking for my nose contour. So I'm going back into the Shapeshifter, picking up that light contour shade. Woo! She is so pigmented. I have to tone down that right side. Just went a little ham in there. Love that highlight. That might be my favorite thing that I've tried out. And it's also because, oh look at that, eyelash trimmings. I had to cut a lot off of these lashes. So if you have like really big eyes and you have trouble with lashes, those give you a lot of extra room. I cut mine down usually a good bit, but that was a lot. Okay, the last thing I'm going to try is a couple of CoverGirl lip products. I have the Exhibitionist Lip Liner in 205 Caramel Nude. And then I have the Semi Matte and Streaker from the new Exhibitionist Lip Collection. I just did a swatch video of 48 shades, so if you want to check that out, I will link it. I'm going to line my lip. I said this in the video, but I really like the slanted tip on these lip liners. I feel like it just really hugs the lip and gives you an easy way to like outer line the lips a little bit. Overline, outer, over, whatever. These glide on really smoothly. Alright guys, that's my finished look using a bunch of new products. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of these goodies. If you did, then please leave me a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these products, if you have any favorites here, or if there's some things that you didn't like so much. Everything for me kind of worked out pretty well. I don't have any big like disasters. Probably my most excited thing was the highlighter, and I was really impressed by the sponge. Insanely so, because I didn't really know what to expect. So I'm going to try it out some more. I almost feel like now that I know, I feel I wish I had done like a side-by-side like Beauty Blender and this, but maybe down the road, or maybe I'll do like an Instagram for that. But this highlight is absolutely killing it. I actually really loved both of the Pixi products, so I have no complaints. I do need to set my face with Max Fix Plus. I've used this, but I have not used the lavender, which is what this is.
Ooh, it's got a good spray on there. This will be great too to like use to travel with and refill it. Ugh. I'm just not a lavender girl. Ugh. Oh, I hate lavender. That's why I haven't used it yet. After that nasty lavender. Oh yes. Oh, save me.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!